Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined as always by Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we have play-up props here for you guys to start the work week on a Monday. Only 6 games to choose from here, but we do have a couple other game videos up as well, so make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Also want you to head to thelines.com. Check out the great written content we have up there. Nate and I throw in the picks. Mo's got some picks from time to time as well. March Madness also in full swing up on the site, where you can also use that odds finder tool that we have. We talk about that every morning as well. Make sure you're getting the best odds available to you from all those sports books giving us bets. Nate, let's go ahead and jump into your first NBA play-up prop for tonight.
Yeah, is this the night that the Warriors actually win a road game against a Houston team that's on a back-to-back and has the worst record in their conference? Probably. They are -10 here, but a blowout is not something you're as worried about when you take a Steph Curry prop these days on the road, because every game has been relatively close. I mean, they're giving up 129, the Warriors, in 6 roadies since he came back. So that's why he's had to average 32 points, 5.5 assists, and nearly 6 threes per game in trying to get those wins. And that includes 2 at Memphis, which guards him very well. Didn't let him get many threes up. He went 7 for 16 in those 2. So you take the numbers for the other ones from 3, and he's obviously just lighting up teams. And Houston not really able to guard any point guards. Over their last 30, they're giving up the most points to the position. Over the last 15, giving up the most threes to the position. Also, when they're on a back-to-back, they give up 121 points. They give up 28 assists. They give up 16 threes in that situation. So that is all before I gave you Steph's numbers against Houston, which are unsurprisingly amazing. 34 points, 11.3 assists, and 7.5 threes at nearly 50% in his last 3 against the Rockets. 2 of them were in Houston. And then the one before that in Houston back in 2021, also 30 points, also 7 threes. I would go with 4.5 threes as the preferred prop here. It's nearly even money at FanDuel for him to hit 5. Like I said, he's averaging 6 on the road right now. That's something he could hit even if Houston does lay down here on a back-to-back. But 34.5 points and assists at -110 is more of a bet on this somehow being close again. Houston has somehow beaten 3, playoff contending teams in a row. And the Warriors cannot beat anybody on the road. I don't know the last time. I guess it was against OKC like a month and a half ago that they actually won on the road. So I have no problem taking Steph to score about 30 and hand out some dimes as well.
Yeah, full disclaimer, and I tweeted this last night, like, they should not be favored by 10 against literally anybody on the road right now. They're the Detroit Pistons. They have the same record on the road as the Detroit Pistons. Would you favor the Detroit Pistons by 10 on the road against the Rockets? No, you wouldn't, because the Rockets are a bottom 3 team in the league, and when I say you wouldn't favor them against anybody, this is what I mean, because, like I said, this is anybody. This is the Houston Rockets. So that said, like, Steph has been doing him. They just lost when he had a 50-point game, which is the second time that's freaking happened in his career, which is insane because that's how bad they've been around him in that season right when they lost KD and this season. So like whatever happens with the Warriors is irrelevant to how well Steph is going to play. Their problems are just way outside of number 30 right now. So a guy that we have come to love, I mean, you already know he's my favorite Knick of all time, but also for player props has been super hot lately, and Jalen Brunson is back for the Knicks. 24.5 points is his prop. I'd like over that. We both do. -111 on FanDuel. I do consider the assists here as well. In fact, I started to like those more when I saw those odds at +104 on FanDuel for him to get 6 assists tonight against this Minnesota Timberwolves team, which I believe is Anthony Edwards officially out tonight, or is he still listed as questionable?
Yeah. He's out about a week, I think.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I would have liked to take them 8.5. I didn't see fully that he was out for that whole time last night when I was looking at these games specifically. But either way, even if he's not in there, like I like the Knicks in this one. I like them to be able to score. I like Jalen to get the Timberwolves. A good starting place is that they're just allowing a ton of points. 2 point guards on the season, 5th most on the season. That has stayed around the same number once you get Mike Conley in there as well for the past month. That's not going to help out that offense. Love you, Mike, but just not there anymore for him on D. His welcome back game against Denver, big win for the boys on a Saturday, 116-110 for them. 24 points in that game when he came back, 5 assists as well. And then you look at his last 4 overall, 27 a game with a 150 offensive rating, and that even includes the 19 points he had in 19 minutes before leaving at SAC, which obviously he keeps his rating up high because he only played the 19 minutes. But I mean, come on, man, like that's crazy. Like he was on pace to continue getting some buckets that game. They ended up losing because they lost Jalen, but 9 home games that he's played since the beginning of February, 31 a game, 5.5 assists. That's with the 29% usage. The only thing about the assists is like if they need him to get a bucket at the end, then he's going to get a bucket. But like, are they really going to need him to get a bucket, or is he going to have the free-flowing ability to also get assists? Like, you can take both, I think, and feel pretty good about it. Like I said, I feel pretty good about the assist because I don't know that he feels that need to make sure he gets it in the bucket when they're playing in a game that's not going to have that rough of a go on it. At the same time, like, I know he's going to love to score from the mid-range in this one if Rudy does play. And even if he doesn't, if Naz Reid plays, he might not either. Either way, there might not be much in the lane. His floater game is going to be available. His pull-up game is going to be available. I do like the points. I like his ability to get to the free throw line. He gets there 4 more times in his last 6 roadies than he has on the season. He's been averaging like a big uptick in those free throws because, like I said, he can get to the rim if there's no Rudy Gobert there, and even if Naz Reid is there, not quite the same shot blocker. So I think this is a good opportunity to pick Jalen against a team that like all season long has just been allowing teams to score from that exact position.
Yeah, everybody's questionable for Minnesota, as always. Like you said, Gobert, Naz Reid, other wings as well. And they're just reeling right now. I mean, they did just give up 49 to mid-range master DeMar DeRozan, right? So here comes Jalen Brunson, and here comes DeMar DeRozan for my second pick at 23.5 points, even money at DraftKings. He's averaging, he's back to like the MVP DeRozan we saw last year a little bit. 33 points, 7 rebounds, 5.5 assists on a 28% usage rate in his last 4, playing 43 minutes to pull the Bulls into this play-in race. Even after playing 52 in double overtime, he played 41 the next night and gave you 24 points and 10 assists. So hitting this prop consistently. He hits it consistently when he gets at least 1 day rest. You look at on a back-to-back, he averages 23 on at least 1 day rest, 26.5. His usage rate goes up 4 percentage points to 28.8% when he gets that 1 day rest. And we talked about that weird game against the Embiid-less Sixers where the Bulls won, snapping a 13-game skid against them. Previous 5 for DeRozan since he joined the Bulls. And I mean, all losses to the Sixers, but he averaged 31 points on 53% shooting and 30% usage rate. So he is the guy who's going to try to keep them in it. I talk about the Sixers being a real half-court heavy team because they're so bad defending the break in transition. They're playing at like a 92 pace at home. So I expect this one to be close. I expect DeRozan to be operating in the half-court a lot and scoring. And he has been a little bit better on the road versus at home as well. But it's really just a case of like his props are down because he had a rough go for a while in February. But now he seems to be scoring at will.
Yeah, I liked him in this one as well. I also mentioned in the game video that like Zach LaVine is ripe for another opportunity to score a ton of points off of them, but I also like points in this game. So like, yeah, give me some overs. And Zach LaVine, if he comes to play again as well, including that 41 piece that he put up on the Philly earlier this year, yeah, shoot, like why not? Like why would this game not go over at that point? So yeah, let's get some points from both these guys because I like LaVine and I do like DeRozan as well. I think he's gonna be able to get his in the part of the floor that Philly definitely struggles against a bit more in terms of that mid range, more so than they do in the paint and the 3-point line, at least in the past month or so. So let's finish things off here with insert Indiana Pacer player. Now I will say we don't have TJ McConnell props like we would like to have tonight. We know he's going to have a big impact based on Tyrese Haliburton not playing. His stat line should be improved from what it is on the season. As we know, when he does not have Halibaby in this year, we're talking about 6 points per game in 18 minutes with Haliburton versus 14 a game in 29 without him. Doubles, more than doubles, everything does because he's getting minutes. He's getting 5 assists a game in that sense. His last 8 without Haliburton, 14 points a game and 9 assists per game as in those last 8 that he's played as a starter. And yes, Charlotte, they're bad on defense. They're giving up the third most points in the paint, but I do want to throw out there that we have Andrew Nembhard stats at this point, and Nembhard is obviously another person who basically doubles his output when Tyrese Haliburton is not out there. He goes from 3 assists to 6 assists, 7 points to 13.5 points. And his prop right now now is at 14.5. And if you look at his last 5 games on the season right now for Nembhard, he's averaging 19, and he's getting 32 minutes a game. He's getting 5 assists and 2 boards. They've clearly said we're not. I mean, tanking. I'm sorry, we don't use that word on the show. We're not worried about winning the rest of these games this season. Tyrese Halliburton, maybe he could. I mean, if the Pacers were in a run down the stretch for a legitimate playoff spot, do you think Tyrese Halliburton would be sitting tonight? No. So the point is like they're allowing Nembhard to come in, get his usage that's been around 26% in the last 5 or so, with about 15 shot attempts a game, and that includes 14 points on just 7 shots in that domination of Houston, where he had 14 points because he only played 26 minutes because of that blowout. Charlotte, I mean, they're not great, but I don't think they're quite as bad as Houston right now, and their defense has been a little bit more formidable to at least be able to keep them in this game. But Nembhard coming from that shooting guard position, I like him. I do like McConnell, and I even would consider taking Nesmith as well from that power forward spot, which is a place that the Hornets have been vulnerable as well, which is down low and against the front court.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to Halliburton, you said Benny Matz, Duarte, Isaiah Jackson all might not play. Yeah. So the Pacers, they're just trying to get a look at their young guys. They're not necessarily tanking. They just don't, and didn't they beat the Bucks without Halliburton as well? Yeah. Mostly because of TJ McConnell's incredible effort on both ends. Yeah, I would like to see where his steals are at against a Hornets team that is just abysmal right now on offense without LaMelo. I would take his steals, but I think Nembhard, is the guy in terms of points that he's going to see a big elevation in usage as a ball handler and a scorer.
Yeah, been shooting the lights out as well from 3 as of late in his last 5, shooting 46% from deep. I believe he had 6 the other night. And then you talk about McConnell. Yeah, I love the ability for him to be able to do that. That win against Milwaukee was bananas. But a lot of guys not playing. So there's plenty of opportunity for all these guys on the Pacers tonight to get some numbers. And that is all the time that we have for you in this one. So make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Continue to follow along. Check out the game videos we have up for you tonight as well. Until we see you next, happy betting.